Hi, I'm Kepner CPA here in Dallas. Let's say you have a goal. You want to do $1 million next year in revenues. That does a lot for you just by putting that goal out there. Now, there are many people that will say, well, I hope to do $1 million. Well, they're not going to reach it if all they're doing is hoping. So you might as well toss that out the window. So they'll say, well, I can't really know. It really depends on whether I get this inroad into this client and then I can sell them a lot of business. Or it depends on whether this client grows and they'll need more of what I do. Or it depends on whether I get leads from my networking group. Or it depends. So when somebody is looking at their goal that way, that is, they don't have a goal or they have a hope, they're not going to go very far. So let's change that around a little bit. Let's say my goal is to do $1 million. So if I'm coaching you, my question for you is, what makes you think you're going to do $1 million? Well, I've got a company over here that can buy from me, and if they do really well, then I can sell a lot to them. I say, well, what's your strategy for getting their business? Well, they're out there, I've done a little bit of work for them, and so, they know I do good work. And no. What is your strategy, and how much are you going to get from them? If you don't know that, then for that prospect, you're still operating in the hope mode, not in the strategy mode. Well, what about those leads I'm going to get from my networking group? I got a really good lead last year from one of the people in my networking group, and that resulted in $5,000 of sales. Well, okay, so what makes you think you're going to get that same kind of lead this year? Because that came from somebody in your networking group that's in a particular line of business, and there aren't other people in there in that same line of business probably. So is he going to give you $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 of leads this year? Maybe he's cashed in all his leads and that's all he's got for you. So what's your strategy for building on that? What's your strategy for getting more important leads from your networking group? I want to tell you from my experience, networking is old hat. And most networking groups that I belong to, they only have people in there that are people that are scrounging around trying to make a living themselves. And they are not the ones that are going to buy from me, nor are they ones that know the people who need the kinds of services I provide. So, well, you say, well, Kep, maybe I only need one of these for it to pan out. Well, maybe that's true, but if that's all you're trying to get, then you're going to get that $5,000 in sales, and you still have $995,000 to go. Well, what about your marketing? Well, I got this marketing program, and I got some clients out there, and boy, if they grow, then I already know I'm going to get the business. Well, that's great. What strategies do you have in place to make sure that if they don't grow, somebody else grows and uses you? What strategy do you have in place to team up with your customer to help them grow? There are all kinds of strategies that you have to put in place for that goal. And by putting that goal out there as an absolute, my goal is $1 million, then you ask totally different questions. You ask all the questions that I just asked, plus you ask, well, what made me think I couldn't do $2 million? What's magical about $1 million in sales? The reality is nothing is magical about it. What's magical is when you grow your business to the point that it creates all it needs to sustain itself and gives you the lifestyle you want, allows you to reinvest in that business as you turn it from a business to an enterprise, and allows you to be able to invest in other things. Maybe your retirement, maybe your college tuition for your kids. So a goal is very important, but as a goal, it's nothing if you don't have the backup for it. If you need help and you want us to ask you the question of what makes you think you're going to do $1 million, then give us a call, because we're not afraid to ask. Thanks.